Good afternoon, YouTube, man. Always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, I know I took my time on this one because I feel like there's you always want to be careful when you do these videos because you never know when things change. But I think everything's set. So, anyways, today is the start of the Toronto shows. You have first the Toronto Pro Qualifier. And it's today where amateur competitors are trying to earn their pro cards in Canada and to compete next year and make their pro debuts eventually. So that's happening right now. But the main thing is going to be about the Toronto Super Show. As you know, last year they had it at the end of the year, and now they're having it in this I would say uh, spring. I would say it's technically still spring because summer don't really start till about July, I think, really. But the end of June officially starts. So this is the Toronto Super Show, which is going to be coming tomorrow. It's going to be Sunday, and I'm kind of a. We had the same thing that happened last year. We only have four female bodybuilders. Four, and back in the day, there was a good amount of women from Canada from bodybuilding. People like Helen Bouchard, Laura, Laura Beniti. I mean, there was a good bodies, of female bodybuilders back in the day. But something happened. And we all know the IFBB walked quite behind female bodybuilding, started hot when they dropped it from most of the lineup. So it was just a lot of ladies who were competing in bodybuilding in Canada. Either they just retired or they switched to physique, depending how they look, how they were built. And I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, as a fan, this happened last year. As you know, last year, before they canceled it because of what happened with the virus, you had a good number of women who competed at the Toronto Super Show. Remember Marjorie Martin won that show, and then she turned around and won the Omaha the week later. And that get her another shot to the Rising Phoenix. But this time, it's just, I think one thing is, in Canada, you have to be vaccinated. You have to be both be vaccinated, have proof of a negative test for the virus to get in. And some ladies don't want to, take the vaccination and they don't want to jump the hoops and whatever. And like I said again, you're taking gear, but you don't want to take a vaccination. That's really all. So anyway, we see on the top we have here the lovely Miss Michelle Brent. Now, Mrs. Brent, this is going to be her second show. She competed at the Toronto Pro last week. And, she looked pretty impressive. I think she should have got a little higher. Especially a woman at 64 years old. 64. And still have this level of muscle. Maybe she can, maybe if she competed in women's physique, you might do a little better. But I think she's a true bodybuilder at heart. She is a true bodybuilder. I would truthfully say, she's the last of the true female bodybuilders in the sport of bodybuilding. Who didn't, start out in one division and went up to another. She was always been a true bodybuilder and a legend in PC. And we've been talking on social media. She told me that she's protected. She made sure she got a vaccination, and this is an opportunity. You don't miss an opportunity like this. But she took it on. So I hope she does well this show. She might. Oh hell, you might know. She might even win. Next up, we have one lady who was supposed to compete in New York last week, but something happened. I don't know, visa issues or something. One Miss Gisela Chan Nunez, and she competed in physique. She hadn't competed since almost 3 years, and now she makes a transition to bodybuilding. She's from China, as I said again, and I think from this picture she's pretty impressive. She had great physique. It's all how she's gonna look. There's a good chance she could be a dark horse because we need to see it in New York, so we got to see what's going to like here. Next up is another repeat offender, and that is Michelle Jin. Now, Michelle has done the Toronto plenty of times. She's done it back in 2019, she's done it last year, and she's done it this year. And she's now the leader on the point system with 15 points. Now, she did New York last week. And, actually, week before last. I'm sorry, week before last. It's time really flies, you don't think about it. And, she looks pretty impressive. I think there's a good chance she might maybe win. It's all depending how Gisela looks, and and also the next person here who's also a repeating offender for last year, and that is Lisa Kudry. Now, Lisa, she's tied for 11th with Irene Anderson, and all Lisa has to do is possibly win this show or place in the top 3, which gives enough points she can probably jump over. I think this is a point. This show is a second tier qualifier, meaning she might get. I remember she took third at Indy, which gave her 11 points. So she already had 8 points because she took second at the Toronto, was it she took third, she took second to Toronto last year, and she's got 11 points. So she had 3 points from Indy, and all she needs if she can even all she has to do is win or place second, which give her another 8 points, which give her about 19 points. But if like I said, all it takes for Michelle is to take either third or second, so she'd be the leader. So congratulations to her. Now, one person I mentioned, she won her qualification last year, and that's Mila Ash. And Mila, she took third at the Romania, and then she bounced back and came back. And she did say this: all male competitors should consider, always think about doing shows outside of the states, and that's great because there's a show coming up. I think right after I believe the Chicago Pro, whatever, and that is a show in Brazil. We touched on ladies say sometimes they want to compete with the Brazilian ladies because they love a little bit more muscle in them. But you should take an opportunity, and this is the opportunity for a lot of competitors. Mr. Toronto. Now, one person I'm saying is missing from this show who should be doing this show because she lives in Canada, and that's Mona Percelle. And this is in her backyard. And she took fourth at the Olympia. They changed the qualification for Olympia. It's no longer top five, it's top three. So she has 12 points for being fourth place. But instead again, Michelle Jennings already has 15. So I would have done this show but more likely she probably wait for a show like maybe Tampa or Chicago. I wouldn't wait. This is in your backyard. You might as well do it there and sit out and just wait for the Olympia. And then one person, she's from Canada, but she don't live in Canada, and that is Nikki Chartrand. And Nikki, she used to be a Wing Strength ambassador the last couple of years, but she's no longer a Wing Strength ambassador. I don't know what's going on. I can't say. I don't know if Nikki has took a step back personally. She's not competing. But if I was Nikki and you're competing, you should do this show. And it's in your backyard. It's from your home country, Canada. That would be a great opportunity to earn you a second shot to the Olympia. If you won the show. She, like I said, she also got a good dude coming in a better condition compared to the other women. She's taller. Now, one person who I was thought somebody dropped a little tip in my ear that she might be coming to the show is Stephanie Fleischer, because she already has about she took second at the she has 12 points. She's tying with Mona with 12 points, but what I heard that Stephanie, I just saw it, somebody said this to me on my IG, Stephanie has a foot injury. So she can't train hard. She can't stand on her feet. She might be out for the rest of the month. There's a possibility she might try to shoot for Chicago or maybe Tampa. And she done both those shows last year when she switched over from Physique to women's bodybuilding. And, but this Toronto show and also Omaha, which is coming up next week, would have been the show that probably, if she didn't win, if she didn't place and win it at Toronto, which she could have won it, because, especially the small lineup it is, she probably could have, won it or place and won the show at the Omaha. So we'll have to wait and see if she's going to cover it. Or she could have done it Puerto Rico, which is coming up a week or so after that. Now, this is the list for women's physique. And this is a long list. I'm telling you, folks, this is a long list. And, originally when I saw it, it was originally 11 women, but then you get another woman, another body that jumps in the last minute, and that's the thing what happened with the New York. It was like one point it was 8 women, then 2 more women jumped around, then it was 11. So that's why I said I'd rather wait and see if there's any more last minute registrations. So that's what I did. Anyway, we have here is on this list is one Miss Sarah Bow, and Miss Bow, she just earned a pro card I think a while back. So this is going to be her pro debut. So a lot of Canadian competitors, and many of them making their pro debuts. So congratulations, welcome to the IFBB. So it's kind of funny. You have a good amount of physique competitors, but not as many female bodybuilders. Here we have a lady who she jumped on. She's from Puerto Rico. It's Marisol Cruz, and she competed at the Puerto Rico Pro last year. Pretty impressive. I think she has very feminine looks. I think she might do good. It's all depending on how you place. We have one lady who hadn't competed in a while, and this is one Eleanor de Bremne. If I want to get a name right, I'm sorry. Wow. She might be the one to win this show. Depending on how she comes in, she hasn't competed in about 2 or 3 years. And if she comes in, she might be kind of like the Juliana McCarr, Sarah Vilgas. Sarah Vilgas is seen as the new Dana Lee Bailey. This could be her Julia McCarr. I think that's a possibility. If she comes in great condition, like middle size, great condition, she might could knock Sarah Vickers off. All dependent. This is my prediction. Here we have Jasmine Lyria Flores from Mexico, where a dear lady I'm quitting with the lovely Miss Gabby Vegas. She's from Mexico, and she competed at the Rising Phoenix about a couple of years ago, and she looks pretty impressive. From pictures where I saw of her, she should switch over to women's bodybuilding. I'm honestly telling you. If she put on some size like I saw from some of her pictures on IG and social media, she is in the wrong division. She should be switching. She should have jumped over. If she jumped over the beer and bodybuilder, there's a good chance she might even win that show. She win that division and qualify the Olympia in her first in her first bodybuilding show. She's pretty impressive. Look at her quads. I mean, she has more of a bodybuilding size. If she brought in the size in her arms and a little more definition, and she could probably win. Here we have one Miss Alithea Gall Gabriella. She's from Canada. French Canadian chocolate. And she ain't competed some time. So this is gonna be, I think, her debut. A lot of competitors, once they get their pro card, they gotta take some time. This and that, the cost of bodybuilding, save some out, and make some adjustments. Oh, how she gonna look is all depending. This is Mariana von Giek. She's from Chile. I think there's a growing number of women from South America, Mexico, Argentina, Venezuela. Really is that part of the world, South America and around Mexico is very masculine. And the idea of female bodybuilders is not too popular, but wow, she's pretty impressive. She just won her pro card at the amateurs at the Olympia 2021. So it's gonna be, she looks pretty impressive. I think she might have a future here. Here we have is Jae Lee. Jae Lee, if I want to. She's from Korea, South Korea, actually. And, she took second to Natalia Guerrero at the New York. And the thing with her, I think she could be a bodybuilder too. Look at her quads. Her quads are just huge. There's some female bodybuilders who would kill for quads like that. I mean, I'm telling you, she's got to bring her upper body, her shoulders, her arms. I think she might, maybe next year she might sell out some more time and put on some size and think about switching, because you know what? We can use the bodies in women's bodybuilding, and she's very impressive. And female bodybuilding is really growing with the Asian market. You got here Lee from South Korea. You got Chin from China. I mean, it's a growing market for women's bodybuilding. Maybe it's not as popular, and said like I said, like this Asian community origin is more like the Latin community. So not very ideal of women with muscle, like with Mona Porcelli, who's from she's originally from Iran. And it's not very popular with women with muscle because it's such a masculine, traditional idea of countries. But I think she should switch next year. Really put on size. We have here is a manager, Michik. I'm gonna say Miss Michik. I want to apologize if I got a name wrong. She's also another Canadian. Now she took second at the Vancouver Island Showdown. And I don't know. Like I said, the lineup is all depending on the lineup. She might make top 5, possibly. But like I said, if I'm seeing with Eleanor and Lee and a couple of the girls, it's gonna be tough. Here we have it Sonia Norpinon from she's from Finland, and she looks a little older. She might squeeze in somewhere. I don't know much about her. I know she competed a couple of shows last year. As you see, she was at the Marine Muscle Fest, and also she did the Big Man Weekend. Then we have a legend here. We have a woman who has been to Olympia at least 2 or 3 times during her career, and that's Mandy O'Brien. Now they put her down as Minnie O'Brien. I think it was a misspell. Okay, I think they missed the D. And she's been to Olympia at least 2 or 3 times in her career. And this is a comeback for her. I think she has been active since 2016. So that's almost 6 years. So I'm telling you, if she brings up some size, especially if she's much mature, it's just, I think she might make the top 3 by just name recognition alone. Here we have Renee Reef Schlesinger, and she competed at the New York Pro, and this is going to be her second show. Like I said, I think she's still a bit undersized, even for this division. I think she's more of a figure competitor. But maybe she's testing the waters. This is a small show. Well, it's a big show with good chance opportunity for more points. She might reach to the top. And we had Nadia Vidal, and this is another Canadian bodybuilder who just earned a pro card last year at the last year Supershow. And not much. I don't know much about her. Like I said, a lot of, like I said, I don't follow as many of these physique competitors as I should because I focus a lot more on the women's bodybuilding. But the ones I do know, like, the ones I do recognize, I do follow. But the others, I really got to expand my mind on this. But like I said, I'm still learning my content. So we had 12 women's physique competitors. I think possibly one or two could have went over to women's bodybuilding and earned their qualification for the Olympia if they wanted to. But they think it's a lot easier to do in physique, and there's more bodies there. Why not, take a jump? I mean, especially, Jasmine. She, from the pictures I've seen of her, I think she's in the wrong division. If she comes in with that much size, they probably would have told her. Judges might even tell her. The judges would tell you, like, give you feedback. Hey, you might be better off in women's bodybuilding. You're too large, too much muscle density. So anyway, the main show, the pro show, is tomorrow. As they're having the qualifier today. That's for Canadian competitors. That's qualifier is today. So like I said, I don't follow. It's like I said, I don't. It's, with the amateur stuff, it's a lot. So many bodies, so many people. It's hard to follow. It's a lot easier to follow the pros because the fact is they stick out. It's not as many as compared to the amateurs. But this is a show that's been around for a long time. As you know, I'm a fan of female bodybuilding from Canada. I support. I'm a big fan of female bodybuilding from Canada. There's always been some amazing women, like I said, like Laura Beniti, Helen Bouchard, my dear friend, the late Miss Ronnie Kashmir, and people like Wendy Masters. I mean, there's just Mick Master. They were just so amazing women from Canada. I'm sad at the fact that not many of these women are doing women's bodybuilding anymore because of what happened. As you know, how the IFBB kind of just pushed women's bodybuilding out, and a lot of these ladies have to either make a choice, either go up or or just go out. But these are impressive. This is an impressive list. Still, I wish there was more bodies. I thought maybe some ladies might jump on but like I said again, some ladies are paranoid about taking the vaccinations. You shouldn't be. It's vaccinations are not going to kill you. It's and this is an opportunity with qualification. One of my ladies who competed last year, Miss Tana Huey, didn't compete this show, and I was surprised. I talked to her, why didn't you compete in the show? She felt like she wanted to do some shows in the United States. But she should have show anyway, because this would have been a great way to qualify. She's already got 6 points. All she got to do is there's only 5 competitors. This is a show in which, when she took 4th last year, which gave her 6 points. All she got to do is make the top 3, top 4. She gets 12 points. She would tie with Mona for points, and also with Stephanie Fleischer for points. Might even tie with most definitely she might tie with if she gets 5th place, she'll tie with Irene Anderson. Because I feel like most definitely I feel like Lisa is going to get if she can win the show or get enough points where she's going to pass Jen. So like I said, it's going to be on the live stream. I'll leave the social media stuff in the description. I know some of you who are already probably watching the amateur stuff, but this is for the pros. So check it out. Root for your favorite female bodybuilder, root for your favorite physique competitor. Give these ladies as much respect they deserve as competitors, as women, and as athletes. Anyway, this is man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.